John, floor is yours.
Okay. Well, I'm going to start with the end.
What?
You were 11-6. Mm-hmm. Mine is 13-4. And I'm going to tell you how I got there.
No foreplay? You're just going to blurt out the answer?
I'm just going to give you the answer because everyone's looking at this. And when I say 13-4, I'm sure there's going to be a number of people, that even on this station, that will say, oh, such a homer, Honolulu blue glasses. They have 6 free spaces of the games, and this is where I think this is going to be, obviously, if they're 13-4, a much better season. They're going to win the division. They're going to be a postseason team, but when they get there, how good will they be? Because in the other 11 games, that means they're only 7-4 against teams that are, quote unquote, competitive. So I think they're a better team than they were last year. I think their offensive line is greatly improved. I think the defensive front will be better than most expect, but I do have questions about the secondary, and it all revolves around when will Brian Branch be back. I think he's back actually a little earlier than you thought he was going to be back. And Kirby Joseph, that is the bigger question for me, is how long, how many games can he play? So the free spaces, 6 of them. These are all wins. New Orleans at home, the Jets at home, both second-year head coaches, but no quarterback. And don't give me the Geno Smith has won in Detroit before. That was with the Seahawks team that had a really good defense. The Jets don't have that. Geno doesn't have that. He's a couple years older. It's a new system for him as well. And then the other 4 free spaces at Arizona, new head coach, at Miami, new head coach, at Atlanta and Tennessee, all of them with first-year head coaches. Atlanta, okay, not a first-year head coach, but first year for Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah.
The wins, and I'm just going to go through the wins. At Carolina, and this is obviously, so they start 3-1. I'll just kind of alternate here. They got the loss to Buffalo, and as a player, I absolutely love the fact that you could be playing in the first game of a brand new stadium. There's been a build-up for how many years? 5 years, because, there's a proposal, and is it going to pass? Is it that? All of a sudden they break ground, and you see the renderings, you see it, and then you see it going up. You see the structure, and you're like, this is going to be amazing. If you could hand the Bills a loss in that home opener, you would crush the heart and soul of that entire city, which would be amazing, but it doesn't happen. They lose that game in Buffalo. But they beat Carolina on the road. And these are of the games that are not the free spaces. Week 6 of bye. Week 7, Green Bay. That's a win. Micah Parsons might be back, but it doesn't matter. He's going to be coming off that ACL. He's not going to be the Micah Parsons of old yet. And then Minnesota at home. That one's a win as well. New England. I know you had this one as a loss. I think they go to New England, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is just absolutely going to go off. And New England knows it, but they can't stop them. This is a game where they go there, they get a big win, but the hangover effect is still there. So they lose to Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. Short week. Chicago's on a short week. Chicago is a win, and you put your stamp on this division. You say, hey, we are kings of the North. So you've played Green Bay, Minnesota, and Chicago, all of them at home, and you get all wins. Then you've got Atlanta, which is a win, Tennessee, which is a win, and you got that Minnesota game, Sunday Night Football in Minnesota. They stub their toe. They lose that one, and all of a sudden everybody's gasping, is this team good enough to do anything in the postseason? They lost to Kyler Murray. They lost to Kevin O'Connell. They went to Minnesota and lost now 2 years in a row, but they respond with a win on Monday Night Football against the Giants. They also respond by going to Chicago because they have made Ben Jansen their bitch. And this is a big win. So that gets them to their 13 wins, which means obviously they go to Green Bay and lose. Micah Parsons is back to his regular self, and they lose, but it doesn't matter because they got the division locked up. They're not going to rest. That's not what Dan Campbell does, but they lose. And the reason I have them winning in Chicago is because you went all weather on us. Have you ever heard of the Super El Nino?
No.
It's almost guaranteed that this is going to be a Super El Nino year, and it means it's going to be a very mild winter. So going to Chicago, going to Green Bay at that time of the year, everybody looks and says, oh, it's going to be 13 degrees. No, it's going to be mild, maybe a little damp, but they go to Chicago and get a win. That's how you get to 13-4. 6 free spaces, but in the games where it should be more competitive, they're only 7-4, and there are still question marks going into the postseason.
Watch out, Dave Rexroth. We got meteorologist John Jansen over here.